well, you're going to use it if you want. I don't think this is an evil country. I don't think American people are evil. I think we've had it very easy materially for a long time, and we've gotten very little help in understanding things that are important besides being comfortable. And I don't think anybody knows how we will react if things get really hard here. And the fact that we're strong militarily and economically is a good thing, but it's also a frightening thing. To some of us as Americans.
So, and what kind of, yes, which is already there, almost there.
Now I probably will, well, luckily, yeah, not a lot of Americans will see this in Germany.
So what, I mean, are there any means of rebellion?
Sure.
So, what would it be?
Well, there are people doing it all over the place. I don't know about people rappelling down buildings and getting tear gassed and stuff. The people I know who are rebelling meaningfully, don't buy a lot of stuff and don't get their view of the world from television, and are willing to spend 4 or 5 hours researching an election rather than going by commercials. And the thing about it is that in America we think of rebellion as this very sexy thing, and that it involves action and force and looks good. And my guess is the forms of rebellion that will end up changing anything meaningfully here will be very quiet and very individual, and probably not all that interesting to look at from the outside. I'm now hoping for less interesting rather than more interesting. Violence is interesting, and horrible corruption and scandals and rattling sabers and talking about war and demonizing 1 billion people of a different faith in the world. Those are all interesting. Sitting in a chair and really thinking about what this means, and why the fact that what I drive might have something to do with how people in other parts of the world feel about me isn't interesting to anybody else. That was very close to the truth, but I don't think it's going to make much sense. And plus, yeah, it's a little. I mean, I'm a writer. I'm not a politician or a political thinker or whatever. Just a scared little American. So, living in California.
Just one more question. Do you think there is ever a chance that we might get rid of this love for attractiveness and for all this? I mean, that's this visual thing and all this. And you said rebellion is supposed to be attractive, or people think, well, it's attractive to take to a gun and to be this rebel. But that the true rebellion is not supposed to be attractive, because it just isn't. So how do we get rid of all this visual?
No, it's weird to be saying this on television. But see, there's something about there's nothing wrong. It's not that there's anything wrong with being interested in stuff that's interesting and attractive. What it seems to me like here is that television and corporate entertainment, in order to make, because it's so expensive, in order to make money, it has to appeal to a very wide audience, which means it has to find things that a lot of people have in common. And I don't know about you, but here, I think what most of us have in common here are our very most base, uninteresting, selfish, stupid interests. Physical attractiveness, sex, a certain kind of easy humor, vivid spectacle. I mean, that stuff that I will immediately look at, and so will you, and so will you, and so, right? So it's in our very most base and kind of childish interests that we are a mass. The things that make us interesting and unique and human, those interests tend to be wildly different between different people. So my guess is, in terms of American mass culture as a mass, for things to get significantly different, what it's going to involve is fragmentation in the entertainment industry. when something like what's happened in the American magazine industry, where instead of 3 or 4 magazines with millions of subscribers, you have thousands of magazines, each with a few thousand. That is, if entertainment can get more niche-y, N-I-C-H-E is the English word, it's possible that these companies that put the stuff out can stay alive and make money without having to appeal to 10, 20 million people. Because I don't think it's evil. I think it's just the way that it works. The only way to get 10 or 20 million people all interested in the same thing is to pitch your appeal very, very low. Because maybe you're not interested in any of the things that I named, just immediately, but I am. I'm no different than anybody else. There are a few people who aren't interested in it at all, but I am.